ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside McGonigal Hall. It is the 2020 Ken Anderson Invitational here on Al's TV. I'm Kevin Kopp, and we thank you so much for spending your part of your Friday night with us to watch some NCAA gymnastics tri-meet action. We've got a good one in store tonight as the Temple Owls welcome local rival Ursinus and one of the best teams at the USAG level, Bridgeport, here to North Philadelphia. All of these teams are 3 meets into their 2020 season. This is meet 4 for each of them. Right now, Temple and Bridgeport neck and neck in the national rankings. In fact, Bridgeport comes in 1 spot higher than the Owls at number 51 in the nation. Temple at 52 right now, and Ursinus at number 75, though they have improved since a low 181 to start their season at home against Cortland. Ursinus picked up that score by almost 3 full points to a 184-8 at Rutgers. That is their season high. We're expecting a tight one tonight between Temple and Bridgeport. The Owls have really not found their form 3 meets into the season. Their high score of the year was their season opening score, a 192-550 at Illinois. The Owls have had some trouble, particularly on the uneven bars, and we'll see if Temple can sort that out tonight and put together 4 good meets here at home. Bridgeport, for their part, is carrying a 189-3, a really uncharacteristically low score to begin their season at the Critique Classic down in Kissimmee, Florida. They bounced back in a big way with a 193-625 at home. Last week up at Brown, scored a 193-750. So the Purple Knights are coming off of their best meet of the season. They bring a bunch of momentum with them into Philadelphia tonight. Touch warm-ups have expired in our first rotation, and we are ready to get this one underway. Temple will begin on vault, Bridgeport will begin on bars, and Ursinus will begin on beam. For Temple, they'll be led off by junior Tori Edwards. Up second, senior Jasmine Estrella, senior Jaylene Everett third, freshman Madison Brooks fourth, junior Faith Leary makes her season debut fifth, and Ariana Castrense, the all-arounder, will be in the anchor spot for Temple in this first rotation. You're looking at our triple box coverage of tonight's meet, so if you're joining us from Ursinus or Bridgeport, or you just want to see everyone, we're bringing you every routine tonight. But it'll begin with Temple on vault, and Tori Edwards will lead things off. A very good Yurchenko layout full vault, and Temple gets their night off to a fine start. They've got an experienced vaulter in Edwards in that leadoff spot. And that'll set the table for a pair of seniors, Jasmine Estrella and Jaylene Everett. So as you can see on your screen, Temple in the top left, they'll start out on vault. Bridgeport is on the bottom of your screen, getting ready to begin on bars, and Ursinus is on the top right. They will start on the balance beam. Bridgeport gets their evening underway with sophomore Haley Bangert on the uneven bars. Beautiful toe shoot to Tkachev combination there. Good handstand. Shoot over to handstand looks good. She goes back up to the high bar. Autumn Snape, the senior, gets her night started on beam, and Ursinus is officially underway. Dismount for Bridgeport, a stuck landing and a great beginning for the Purple Knights as Bangert gets Bridgeport off and running. We're waiting on the first scores of the night for Temple's Tori Edwards. Jasmine Estrella has been a bit limited for Temple this season. They've got her back in 3 events tonight. We will see Jasmine on vault, bars, and beam this evening. Senior transfer, a big weapon for the Owls, and here she is following a 9.675 for Tori Edwards. Estrella, Yurchenko layout, full little hop off to the side. Autumn Snape on her dismount. Finishes up, but Ursinus will start with a fall. Still still haven't got an opening bar score for Bridgeport, but we have 2 vault scores for Temple. Edwards 9.675, Estrella 9.625. Up third will be senior Jaylene Everett. We're supposed to see Jaylene on 2 events tonight. She was scratched from floor, so this is her evening now on the vault. Everett, a former NCAA regional competitor as an individual. Jaylene approaches the table. Yurchenko layout full and very good. Best landing of the 3 so far. May have popped up on her toes or shuffled just a bit. We're at a bit of a tough angle to see vault landings from our broadcast position. Now, we had no trouble seeing that over on bars. A second straight stuck landing for Bridgeport. That was Reagan Dillon. And an excellent start by Bridgeport here, finding those sticky feet on the road. The rest of the Bridgeport lineup behind Bangert and Dillon. Sophomore Caitlin Gray will be third. Juliana Rowland, all-arounder, will be up fourth. Kat Doran will be fifth. And Gabrielle Kistner, also in the all-around, will be in the anchor spot on the uneven bars. Bangert began with a 9.6 for Bridgeport. Granted, our eyes are darting around here as we're trying to keep track of 3 events at once, but that 9.6 for Bangert in the opening spot seemed a little tight, and we'll see how that progresses over on bars. Everett, meanwhile, has the high score of the night for Temple and a new season best score of 9.775. So Temple has hit 3 for 3, and now they turn it from a senior to a freshman. This is Madison Brooks. Brooks approaches the table. Yurchenko layout full and just a little hop back with 2 feet. She's happy about that one. Well, we've got a moment. Up third on bars for Bridgeport. This is Caitlin Gray. Good last handstand, back up to the high bar. Giant full, immediate double tuck, and a little hop back on the landing for Gray. We've got a long delay over on beam as the judges get together to talk about the opening beam routine from Autumn Snate. How about this for Madison Brooks? A new season and career high for the freshman. She bests her old mark by more than 1/10 of a point, 9.825 for Brooks. And Temple building their scores quite nicely through this opening vault rotation. Setting the table for junior Faith Leary. Leary making her season debut for Temple. Yurchenko layout full, and it's a good one. Now, Faith Leary gets wrapped up by her teammates there. They were excited for her in the warm-up earlier tonight, seeing her hit that Yurchenko full. She cracks into the lineup and makes it count. That's a big added weapon for Temple in this vault lineup. Vault has been Temple's best event this season. And after a lengthy delay for the judges to discuss, we are ready to get back on beam with sophomore Taylor Cusick. That difficult punch front mount off of the springboard onto the beam, and she'll take a fall. That's such a tough way. But beam is tough enough, and you compound that difficulty with that mount, and she puts herself in a bit of a hole, taking that 5/10 deduction early on. Faith Leary, how about this? First vault of the year, 9.85 out of the gate. And Temple already sitting on a season best 48.750 on vault. And now they've got sophomore all-arounder Ariana Castrense. Castrense Yurchenko layout full, sky high and beautifully stuck. Kostrense finishes off the Temple vault rotation in style. It's a season best for the Owls. Over on bars now for Bridgeport, this is Juliana Rowland. Big pack salto. Boy, that Kostrense vault was absolutely sky high. She can do a Yurchenko double full, and you can see why. She's got enough air to get that thing around twice, and we're going to see it at some point this year. They're holding her back to the full for now, but that was beautifully done. Couple stumbles backward from Rowland on the landing, so a tough finish there for Bridgeport. They've got two left, Kat Duran and Gabrielle Kistner. 9.85 is the score for Ariana Kostrense, and Temple just misses their first 49 score of the year. They go 48.975 on vault. What a way to begin for Temple. This is a team that, again, has not cracked 193 this season, and they're sitting just off of a 196 pace through one rotation. Excellent, excellent start for Temple. So we're getting caught up on bars with Bridgeport now. Haley Bangert started things off with a 9.6. Reagan Dillon, a 9.7. Caitlin Gray, a 9.6. We don't yet have a score for Juliana Rowland. I'm assuming, given the issues on the dismount, that may be the low number for Bridgeport that they would like to drop. And we've got Duran and Kistner remaining. Beautiful shoot over to handstand. Last handstand, very good. Line full, double tuck, and just the smallest of hops back on the landing. That is Kat Duran, and we'll have the anchor Kistner left for Bridgeport. So Temple figures to be in the lead at the end of one rotation with that performance on the vault. 48.975. Bridgeport would love to get a big number out of their anchor Kistner. 9.425 was the score for Rowland, so that's the low number right now. Back on the beam for Ursinus, up third is freshman Alyssa Delorme. Good series. Score for Duran on bars, 9.725. And now Gabrielle Kistner on the uneven bars for Bridgeport to finish off the night's first rotation. Huge to Tkachev. My goodness, that had some air underneath it. Giant full, short on the shoot over to handstand. Handstand up on the high bar, short as well. Two giants, double layout. Oh, it just looked like she buckled on the second layout there and then takes a fall on the landing. So unfortunately for Bridgeport, that will be the score that they drop, and they will be unable to improve on their current team total, which is a 48.050. Not a bad number for Bridgeport, not what they wanted certainly to come out of the gate with, and they'll open roughly a full point behind Temple at the end of the first rotation. Bridgeport, a pretty solid bars team, but they're a pretty solid team all the way around. You imagine they will not be phased in have a chance to score big on the other 3 events as well. A bit of a tough beginning. We've got some beam scores starting to come in for Ursinus. Autumn Snape began with a 7.25. Taylor Cusick followed that 8.15. And we are still waiting on the scores for Alyssa Delorme. So we'll bring you Ursinus beam the rest of the way here. And it looks like it's going to be a 9.275 for freshman Alyssa Delorme. That is a new career high for the freshman in her 4th collegiate meet. So we will have the final 3 beam routines of the Ursinus rotation and then an exhibition for Alex Panetta. So we'll get to spend some time here with the Bears. This is Abby Short, the junior. Series back handspring layout, very good. Beat jump, wolf 3/4 combination. Little balance check. And a gainer full off the side of the beam, stuck landing, and a good finish there for Schwert. So Ursinus picking up their scores. That should be in the range of Delorme, if not a bit higher for Schwert. And we've got 2 remaining, senior Skylar Haas and then sophomore Kaylin Knapsack. We mentioned at the very start of the meet, but we'll recap the season scores here for Ursinus. Had a tough beginning in a matchup against a NCGA rival in SUNY Cortland. Ursinus scored a 181.525 in that opening meet. They improved that score in a big way, going on the road at Rutgers, scoring a 184.8. That was their season best total. And we're back at home last weekend scoring a 183.450. Interestingly, that was their senior meet last weekend at home. You don't see too many senior meets in January, but that's it for Ursinus. Only 2 home meets this season. They will hit the road for the rest of the year. Now this is an easy trip from Collegeville into Philadelphia. 9.55 is the score for Abby Schwert. That is a season high by nearly half a point, and that is the high mark of the evening for Ursinus. So credit to the Bears after getting off to a bit of a tough start with a routine in the 7s and 1 in the 8s. They have picked it up over their last few beam routines here. And now it will be senior Skylar Haas. Haas and Knapsack, the last 2, both very good beam workers. Haas has a season best 9.625. Back handspring layout. 3-element series, beautifully done. Good full turn. Good cat leap, side aerial beat jump combination. Haas looking very confident right now. And a cat leap gainer full off the side, stuck landing for Skylar Haas. Best routine of the night for Ursinus. Good job by the senior. That's what you want from those veterans in the lineup. And now it'll be up to Kaylin Knapsack to finish things off. Knapsack is the anchor for Ursinus on both beam and floor. This will be the first of 3 meetings this season between Temple and Ursinus. 2 of them are going to take place here in McGonigal Hall. Interestingly, Temple hits the road for over a month. We are not back with you on the air here until the first weekend in March. Temple will have a tri-meet on Friday night against Penn and Bowling Green, and then they will finish up their regular season here at home against Ursinus in a dual meet on Senior Day. These teams will also see each other at the Pink Meet, which is held annually at the Philadelphia Convention Center. You get a lot of local teams there. So familiar foes. And that is going to be a 9-8 for Skylar Haas. 9-9 from one judge. Well done. And that is a new season best as well. So for Ursinus, their last 3 beam routines have all been season high scores. And 1 to go. Well, now the judges are going to get together. And there must be, there is a start value question here. So one judge, 10-0 start value, 9-9 final score. The other judge that gave this routine a 9-7 had it at a 9-9 start value. Likely one judge giving credit for a connection that another missed or an element that may or may not have been in there. So they'll get together and discuss. So long wait here for both Temple and Bridgeport, as you expect, coming off of vault and bars, but a few extra deliberations on the beam have made it go a bit longer here in the first rotation. We still have 1 routine left and an exhibition as well. We'll see if that discussion prompted a change in the final score. Yeah, it did. So they actually took it down to a 9-9 start value, but it's still a 9.75 for Skylar Haas. Still a season best mark. And now to finish up in competition for Ursinus, this is Kaylin Knapsack. Switch leap, Wolf 3/4 has to pick her leg up. Front toss into that back handspring. Those are really tough. You've got to keep that momentum going. You've got to keep it fluid. And she managed to do so. A little balance check in there. There's a beat jump pike 3/4 combination. And a little step forward on the dismount. Ursinus always good for some variety in their beam routine and on floor. And that will be the end of the scoring routines in the first rotation, though we do have a scheduled exhibition from freshman Alex Panetta. And a shame for Ursinus that they just had those early mishaps on those first 2 routines, or they would have been looking at a season-high beam score. Not for the 2 sub-9 routines that began this rotation. So we will get the final score here from Knapsack. We'll have our team scores. We'll give you the exhibition from Panetta, and then we'll take our first break of the evening. Second rotation, Temple moves to bars. Bridgeport to beam, Ursinus to floor, and the vault will get a rest. And it's going to be a 9.725 for Knapsack. That is also a season best score. 46.450 for Ursinus on beam. It's a tough one. 4 of their 6 scores were season highs. They just really hurt themselves with those low numbers early on. So here is freshman Alex Panetta getting some competition experience in this exhibition role. Unusual combination there, back handspring to a back tuck, but unfortunately comes off and has to take a fall. Good full turn. And a good finish from Panetta. Unfortunately, just had to take those 2 falls. And that is how rotation number 1 will come to an end. Temple opens in the lead with a season best vault score of 48.975. Bridgeport in second, 48.050. And Ursinus opens in third, 46.450. We'll step away for a break. We'll rejoin you for the start of the second rotation here at the Ken Anderson Invitational from McGonigle Hall. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Kopp with you here on Als TV. We are through 1 rotation in tonight's tri-meet. Here are your scores at the end of 1. Temple with a season best 48.975 on vault. The Owls are in the lead, followed by Bridgeport 48.050 on bars. Ursinus in third, 46.450 on beam. So we go to rotation number 2. Temple will be on bars, Bridgeport on beam, and Ursinus on floor. Well, this is the question for Temple. They've been a great vault team all season. That has never been in doubt. The issue for Temple has been bars, and now a chance to see if the Owls can continue all of that momentum they built for themselves in the first rotation. The bars lineup for Temple: junior Jordan Oster will lead off, freshman Madison Brooks second, junior Delaney Guerin third, junior Tori Edwards fourth, sophomore Ariana Castrense will be fifth, and Jasmine Estrella will be in the anchor spot for Temple. For Bridgeport on beam, junior Nicole Javinet will lead off, pair of freshmen Hannah Barry and Katie Koopman in the second and third spots, junior Gabrielle Kistner up fourth, Juliana Rowland up fifth, and senior Maya Reimers in the anchor spot on beam. And Bridgeport gets underway first, so that is Javinet out on the beam. Ursinus a little bit thin on floor. They're going to go 5 up, 5 count here, so no margin of error for Ursinus. They'll be led off by 2 seniors, Skylar Haas and Autumn Snape, followed by junior Haley DeChico, sophomore EJ Gable, and sophomore Kaylin Knapsack. A reminder as you're looking, not that you need me to tell you, you can read the words on your screen, but Bridgeport on beam is on the bottom of your screen. Ursinus will be in the top right on floor, and Temple yet to get going is on the top left on the uneven bars. Skylar Haas, who had that great beam routine, 9.75, and leads off for Ursinus. And we'll turn our attention here on the broadcast for a moment to Temple on bars, beginning with junior Jordan Oster, who caught her foot on the Tkachev, still caught it, comes up short on that next handstand. Shoot over to handstand's good. A little bit short on that last handstand. Giant full, immediate double tuck, and a hop back on the landing for Oster. Well, you got to give her credit for fighting through that one. That looked funky as she seemed to have plenty of height on that Tkachev, maybe just a little close to the bar, caught it off her foot, and still managed to have the presence of mind to catch it and really not stall out and be able to finish that routine. So we'll see what that ends up doing for Temple's opening score here. Unfortunately for Haas, she'll bounce out on her last pass and take a 1/10 neutral deduction. Interesting note for Ursinus on floor, they have a former Temple gymnast, a familiar name for Temple fans on their staff, India Anderson, who graduated last year, part of the Ursinus coaching staff this season. She was a great floor worker here at Temple, so you imagine that has helped the Bears this season. And it looks like it's going to be a 9.425 for Oster in that opening routine. Again, good fight. Could have been a lot more if she comes off the bar. That'll be the number Temple wants to drop. They'll turn to freshman Madison Brooks. Big Tkachev there. Comes up a little bit short on her next handstand. Shoot over to handstand, a touch short as well. Good handstand up on the high bar. Giant full, double tuck. Again, just a little hop forward. She was really fighting for that stick. Had to take a hop forward on the salute. Up second now on beam for Bridgeport. This is freshman Hannah Barry. And a stuck landing for Barry at the end of that routine. Score for Madison Brooks on bars, 9.65. And up third for Temple, Delaney Guerin. Guerin, beautiful Ginger. A little short on that next handstand. Blind change, straddle back. Good last handstand on the high bar. And full double tuck. Looked like a stuck landing. Our view is a little blocked here. You judge for yourself at home. But overall, good routine from Guerin. Should be the high score so far for Temple. We've got another delay on beam, as judges have been conferring plenty tonight. Opening beam score for Nicole Javinet was a 9.525. So we'll have a little bit of a wait before Katie Koopman. Up second, meanwhile, on floor for Ursinus. This is Autumn Snape, the senior. What's funny is between the first meet of the season and the second meet of the season, we have switched our broadcast position to the other side of the arena, and still they do not want to show us the scores up here. When the scores get flashed, it always feels like it's like the campfire smoke following you. It's the opposite effect. Wherever you move, they point the scores the opposite direction. Though I can tell you that was a 9.6 for Hannah Barry on beam. And so up third for Bridgeport is freshman Katie Koopman. A good series there for Koopman as Snape continues her floor routine for Ursinus. We're waiting on a bar score for Delaney Guerin. Snape looked like she did a good job to pull that foot back on the line on that third pass and avoid going out. Good routine there for Snape and a nice bounce back after a tough beam. We'll hop off to the side on the dismount there for Koopman. And up fourth on bars for Temple is Tori Edwards. First handstand is good. Good to Tkachev. Second handstand good as well. Clear hip to handstand. Last handstand a touch short. Two giants. Double layout. Good job there by Tori Edwards. Kind of hopped back into the salute a little bit, but she may have held it long enough for the stick. Good routine overall from Tori. Had a season best vault score and may have a season best bar score to go with it. She had a 9.675 to open the meet on vault. Her season best on bars is a 9.7. We'll see. We can now confirm Delaney Guerin's score of 9.775. That is a new season high for the junior. Up fourth, meanwhile, on beam is Gabrielle Kistner. Kistner, good leap combination there. No problem with the full turn. And her series good as well. Back handspring layout. Score for Tori Edwards was a 9.625. And up next for Temple on bars is Ariana Castrense. First handstand locked on top of the bar. Big Tkachev. Shoot over to handstand, a little bit of foot separation there. Back up to the high bar. Last handstand is perfect. Two giants. Double layout. Stuck landing for Ariana Castrense. Now, she set the all-time Temple record for the all-around in the home opener, and she's going to be threatening that thing a handful of times this season. The sophomore has just hit another level for the Owls. That was a beautiful bars routine. Little issue on the feet there in the shoot over. Not much else. Looks like Ursinus has begun 9-2 from Haas, 9-1-5 from Snape. Up third for the Bears is junior Haley DeChico. Looks like Bridgeport has their high beam score of the night, a 9.8 for Gabrielle Kistner. That is a new season best for the junior. And speaking of 9.825, new season best for Castrense. That's what we should be seeing a month into the season. Plenty of season highs going around. We've got one left on bars for Temple, and that is Jasmine Estrella. Temple is 0.2 off of their season best score on bars, and they can drop a 9.425. They hit routine here from Estrella. Good first handstand, locked on top. Giant full into a Tkachev. Great handstand work here from Estrella. Pack salto, beautiful. A little short on the handstand on the low bar. Last handstand maybe a touch short. Two giants, double layout, and takes a fall on the landing. Boy, that routine started so well, and you have to wonder with Estrella, she's been limited this season a little bit. She's battling back. There was some illness, some injury, and you just wonder if fatigue got her a little bit there. But that routine started so beautifully. Her handstands were just locked off, perfect on top, and just seemed to run out of gas a little bit as she got to the end of that routine. So that's a tough way to finish, and it's a mixed bag for Temple on bars. It's their second highest score of the year, a 48.3, but it's another time in which they had potential to drop that low number. They could have gotten up into the mid-48s and let that get by the wayside. So Josh Nielsen talking to his team over there on bars. I don't think he'll be completely satisfied, but it's a step in the right direction after a couple of disastrous outings, and Temple's got a fine score going at the midpoint. It's a 97.275, still well above a season high pace. Bridgeport starting to pour it on beam, back-to-back 9.8s from Kistner and Rowland. Earlier, we had a 9.725 from Koopman, and here's one to watch. Senior Maya Reimers. She has been so good throughout her career in Bridgeport. We'll see her on 3 events tonight. Back handspring layout, step out, just beautifully locked in. Cat leap side aerial, small balance check. Good leaps, and then just had to pick that foot up on the standing back tuck. Boy, that's a difficult skill. Ready for her dismount, round off, double full, and a tiny hop forward on the landing for Reimers. And she's been great throughout her career. The senior is a part of the last 3 ECAC Division II championships for Bridgeport. They've won 11 consecutive conference championships. They came in 3rd last year at the USAG Nationals, and figure they will threaten again. They're going to threaten every year for a USGA National Championship. They are one of the best in the country at their level. So Bridgeport is going to cut into that Temple lead. They've already made up a 10th and a half, and they should pick up another 10th or 2, depending on where this score comes in for Reimers. So we've got in the anchor position for Ursinus. Oh, check that. This is up 4th for Ursinus. E.J. Gable and tried to hold up her momentum. She just skidded across the line and will step out. We also have a beam exhibition for Bridgeport that was not listed for us. Unfortunately, we don't have a name to give you. This will not count toward Bridgeport's team score. And Gable, unfortunately, sits down on her last pass. So a tough finish there for the Bears. They've got one more routine, and that will be Kaylin Knapsack in the anchor spot. Remember, Ursinus only has 5 competitors on floor. They can't drop a score. They've avoided the low number that plagued them on beam to open the meet. Reimers, by the way, finished with a 9.775. So that is a 48.7 on beam for Bridgeport. That is a season best number for the Purple Knights, and they'll make up 4/10 on Temple, and this one's going to narrow. Told you at the beginning, we're expecting a close one between Temple and Bridgeport, and we may get there. Separated by now just over half a point. Temple's got beam and floor left. Bridgeport will have floor and vault left. So we're looking at the floor exercise right now. We've got one routine left before we are at the midpoint of tonight's meet. Right now the floor scores for Ursinus: 9-2 from Skylar Haas, 9-1-5 from Autumn Snape, 9-3 from Haley DeChico. And we are waiting on the scores for EJ Gable. And it is an 8-5 for Gable. And again, all scores count here for Ursinus. And we are ready now for Kaylin Knapsack in the anchor spot for the Bears. Front double full opening pass for Knapsack, and well done. Knapsack is excellent on floor. season best 9.725. We mentioned she's the anchor on both beam and floor. She had a 9.725 on beam to close out the first rotation for Ursinus. Front layout, front full. And a double tuck to finish up. Little stumble back on the landing, but overall great routine from Knapsack. Unfortunately, Ursinus struggling with some depth on floor, not able to drop that 8.5 as they only have 5 up on floor, but that will bring us to the midpoint of tonight's meet. We'll wait on the final score for Ursinus, but we'll give you Temple and Bridgeport as we head to break. Temple's lead cut virtually in half. It's the Owls with a 97.275, holding off Bridgeport 96.750. Score to come from Ursinus momentarily. We'll step away and come back with the third rotation when we continue here on Owls TV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Kopp with you here on Owls TV. We are through 2 of 4 rotations. Here are your team scores. Temple in first, 97.275. Bridgeport narrowing the gap after a great beam set for the Purple Knights, 96.750. And Ursinus in third, 92.475 for the Bears. Third rotation, Ursinus moves to vault. Temple will be on beam, and Bridgeport will be on floor. As we remind you, we've got every routine, all 3 teams for you tonight on Owls TV. Temple will be in the top left on beam, Ursinus top right on vault, and Bridgeport at the bottom of your screen on floor exercise. So we'll turn our focus here to Temple, and Jordan Oster in the leadoff spot for the Owls. Back handspring way out, and a big break there by Oster, but she fights to stay on. You know, in some ways, kind of similar to how she began things on bars. Could have really gone sideways for Oster as she caught the bar with her foot on the Tkachev and still managed to catch it and finish the routine with no other ill effect. She took a 9.425, but great fight there and great fight on her series. Cat leap, front toss. Little balance check out of it. Ursinus has their first vault go as Oster gets the stuck landing off the side of the beam. Rest of the beam lineup for Temple while we have a moment. Following Oster, freshman Madison Brooks, senior Jasmine Estrella, sophomore Ariana Castrense, junior Delaney Guerin, and making her season debut, sophomore Jackie Turpak. Bridgeport underway on floor with sophomore Haley Bangert. Following her will be junior Molly Grau, junior Gabrielle Kistner, sophomore Juliana Rowland, senior Maya Reimers, and freshman Katie Koopman in the anchor spot. And lastly, Ursinus on vault. That was freshman Alex Panetta. We'll have another freshman making her collegiate debut. That is Casey Reese. Junior Haley DeChico will be third. Sophomore EJ Gable fourth. Sophomore Taylor Cusick fifth. And in the anchor spot, senior Bree Couts. So here we go, top right of your screen, collegiate debut, first ever vault for Reese. Yurchenko layout, nicely done. 9.75 start value on the layout with no twist. Little hop off to the side on the landing perhaps. Score comes in for Oster. It's a 9.75 after that big break on the series. Judges did not find much else to take from Oster. A good start, season best score, and here is freshman Madison Brooks. Pike jump, split three-quarter combination. Cat leap front aerial, has to pick up her foot, but gets reset pretty quickly. Minimizes the deduction there. Back handspring layout, step out, very good. And a gainer full off the side, stuck landing for Madison Brooks. A little bit of a stumble forward on the vault there from Haley DeChico for Ursinus. Still waiting on floor scores. Floor has been a bit slower than the other events tonight. No, it looks like this may be compounded by a start value issue on the opening floor routine for Bangor. Scores come up on beam. It's a 9.775 for Madison Brooks. That matches her career best. Up third for Temple, senior Jasmine Estrella. That beautiful press handstand mount. Really impressive way to begin her routine. Cat leap, side aerial. No problem there for Estrella. Again, we've mentioned this a couple times. She's been limited to start this season. But getting her back on 3 events tonight has been a boost for Temple, and this will help moving forward, getting a gymnast of her caliber in vault, bars, and beam. Back handspring layout. Good series. She's locked in right now. Estrella round off 1.5. Very good. She had a good bars routine going and unfortunately just couldn't bring it across the finish line. Took that stumble and the fall had her score dropped, but this is a good one on beam for Estrella, and Temple off to a fine start. And we are finally ready for a second floor routine for Bridgeport. This is Molly Grau. 9-3 looks like the opening score for Bangor. Jasmine Estrella makes it 3 for 3 for Temple. 3 season highs to start on beam. Estrella goes 9-8. And up fourth for the Owls, here is Ariana Castrense. Castrense set the program record in the all-around in the last home meet. She's ahead of that pace tonight with a 9.85 on vault and a 9.825 on bars. Let's see if she can keep it going on beam. Back handspring layout, no problem on the series for Castrense. Round off, double full, stuck landing for Castrense. Another good routine in the books for the sophomore all-arounder. And Temple's got it going right now on beam. Looks like we've got a score on that last floor routine for Molly Grau. It'll be a 9.725. And Castrense, 9.875 on beam. Temple, 4 for 4 in season bests. And for Castrense, that is also a new career high for the sophomore. So Temple's got a chance to do something pretty special here on beam. 2 routines left. Delaney Guerin and then Jackie Turpak. Turpak's making her season debut, and you get the feeling that Josh Nielsen puts her 6th, hoping that Temple hits 5 in front of her and she can go up there with a pressure-free routine. So the key to that right now is Delaney Guerin. Back handspring layout. Very good. Split jump, straddle 3/4. And a stuck landing for Delaney Guerin. Temple 5 for 5 on beam. Well, the Owls came out of the gate hot on vault. Stumbled a bit on bars, though, avoided some of the struggles they've had this season, and then they absolutely wore it out so far on beam. And now Jackie Turpak gets to make a season debut with no pressure on her. She can just go out there and let it fly. And after Bridgeport ate into that Temple lead, Owls are trying to put some distance back between themselves and the Purple Knights, and this will help. 9-9 for Delaney Guerin. Career high on beam. So that's 5 for 5 season highs for Temple, and a couple of those career highs as well. And here to finish up for the Owls is Jackie Turpak. And unfortunately, Turpak slips on that front aerial. Able to catch herself on the beam, but that'll still be a major deduction even without the fall. So she repeats the skill there, does the front toss. And this time she does indeed come off. And this is almost in some ways like an exhibition routine for Turpak. And that's credit to Temple in front of her for hitting the routines the way they did. So they get her into the lineup for the first time. Not going to affect the team score. It's already a 49-1 on beam for Temple. As Turpak finishes up her routine there. We're also going to get an exhibition for Temple from Nicole Smith as we continue on floor with Juliana Rowland. Good double pike to open her routine. And we're going to get to spend some time with Bridgeport on floor here at the end of this rotation. So Temple well on their way to a season best score, but it's almost starting to tip into one of those things where they're going to be kicking themselves for letting that bar set get away from them with a 48-3, or this, you could be looking at Temple going to floor with a chance for something pretty special and one of the high scores in program history. And that is unlikely tonight with that 48-3 on bars, but it shows you that this is still a Temple team to be reckoned with. By almost a full point. That is Temple's best team score on beam this year. Up next on floor for Bridgeport is going to be senior Maya Reimers. So we're going to keep our eyes on that floor routine. That should be a good one to watch. Has been one of the best for a long time there in Bridgeport. It's going to be an 8-3 for Turpak. It's just academic. That score gets dropped. And now Nicole Smith, who we've seen in exhibition a few times this season. They're trying to fight her way into this beam lineup. Smith, like Estrella, also beginning her routine with a beautiful press handstand. A little hesitation between those leaps. Meanwhile, getting ready to begin on floor is Maya Reimers. Smith stepping up for her series. Back handspring layout, and comes off the beam and then actually takes an extra stumble off the mat. Here's Reimers getting ready to go on her first pass. Big double layout. Perfectly done. Big E-level opening skill. Love it from Reimers. Smith back on the beam. Gets through her full turn. And another break there for Smith. Reimers' second pass, 1.5 front pike. Beautiful leaps. Smith finishes up with a stuck landing. It's a good fight there. Took the fall, had a stumble that she had to save on the beam, but you could see her teammates still fired up for her. And Temple's got a lot to be proud of in that beam rotation. 49-1 as Reimers gets ready to finish up. Here's her third pass. Big double pike. Beautifully landed. Great routine from Reimers. And we've still got one more to bring you here from Bridgeport as we go full screen to check on the Purple Knights. And the anchor spot is Katie Koopman. And that was a late switch to bump Koopman down to 6th. Reimers is the typical anchor on floor for Bridgeport, so wondering if they were trying to protect Koopman just a little bit, though there is a 9-3 out there. So I don't read too much into it, but if they were planning to perhaps scratch her if they hit 5, they will count on Koopman, who does have a season and career best 9.65 for Bridgeport. And it is a 9-9 for Maya Reimers. Well earned. Season best score. So here's the final floor routine for Bridgeport. Freshman Katie Koopman. Opening with a 2.5. You've got some great difficulty in these floor routines from Bridgeport. Again, this is why when you put them at that USAG championship, they are toe-to-toe year in, year out for the national title. They bring some obvious technical precision. They bring some great difficulty to them as well. Great twisting in this floor routine from Koopman. Unfortunately, a little low on the Rudy. But it will improve on the 9-3 that Bridgeport is currently counting, and they will be able to tick up a few tenths, you would imagine, from the 48.550. Temple able to reassert themselves here on beam after a little stumble on bars. The Owls will add to their lead. We'll step away. We'll have team scores for you in a moment, but we are 3/4 of the way through tonight's meet. 4th and final rotation when we come back. Temple to floor, Bridgeport to vault, and Ursinus to bars to finish things up in the 2020 Ken Anderson Invitational. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Kopp here for Owls TV as we give you the scores through 3 rotations. Temple in the lead, 146.375. Back up nearly a full point over Bridgeport, 145.4. Ursinus in third with a 139.7. They had their best rotation of the evening on vault, but the 49.1 for Temple on beam, the second best team score in program history, highlighted by a 9.9 from Delaney Guerin, a 9.875 from Ariana Castrense. It was brilliant throughout, and Temple now brings all that momentum with them to floor exercise to finish off tonight's meet. Temple, you would think they are in position for a season-high score and then some. They were one little mistake on bars away from perhaps we'd be sitting here talking about the best score in program history for Temple tonight. That's likely out of reach, but we'll see what the Owls do on floor. Bridgeport will finish up on vault, and Ursinus will finish on bars. In fact, 3 pretty good rotations overall, 48.650 for Bridgeport on floor, and we already mentioned Ursinus. Their best rotation tonight was vault, so everyone feeling pretty good as we head into the final rotation here on Friday night at McGonigal Hall. And we are underway on floor for Temple with sophomore Taylor Newland. Newland starts off with a big double pike, comes in a little bit low. Up first on bars for Ursinus is E.J. Gable. And for Bridgeport freshman Katie Koopman, who finished up on floor, will start off on vault. Front layout, front full second pass for Newland. Well done, well controlled in that corner. And Newland getting ready to finish up. Finishes with a double tuck and has to sit it down and tumbles back out. Ugh. Unfortunate finish there for Newland. A good routine going and maybe just ran out of steam a little bit on that third pass. So now we talk about momentum. Best laid plans. You come off of a near program record beam score. You bring that all with you to floor, and now Temple's got to recapture it and try to hit 5 for 5 here. That's the nature of the beast, and it can change on you in a dime. And all of a sudden we were talking about Temple maybe being one routine away from a program best score, and now it's how do you save a season high, needing hits from your next 5 routines. It will be Tori Edwards, Jordan Oster, Faith Leary, Ariana Castrense, and Delaney Guerin. Jaylene Everett was a late scratch for Temple after warm-up, so she came out, everyone slid up, and they put Guerin in 6th. You're obviously hoping to get 5 hit routines in front of her and take some pressure off of Delaney, but that will not be the case. Been a little bit of a delay over on vault. Bridgeport has not gotten underway. Yeah, the opening score for E.J. Gable on bars was a 9.275. The Bridgeport vault lineup, Katie Koopman leads off, followed by Jordan Street, Maya Reimers, Caitlin Gray, Gabrielle Kistner, and Juliana Rowland. 2 exhibitions on vault are listed, Sarah Pruill and Grace Hunter. Up second right now on bars for Ursinus is Abby Schwert. She'll be followed by Alyssa DeLorme, senior Ellie LaFountain, junior Haley DeChico, and freshman Alex Panetta in the anchor spot. Here is Koopman for Bridgeport. Yurchenko tucked full, just a little shuffle on the landing. .88 is the opening score for Taylor Newland. And we are ready to go. Up second for Temple, Tori Edwards. Al's trying to get back on track, get a hit routine from their junior. Edwards tonight, 9.675 on vault, 9.625 on bars. Starts with a good double pike opening pass. Edwards, Rudy looking very good so far. Finishes with a 1.5 front layup. Very good. Excellent routine overall for Edwards, and exactly what you want and expect out of a veteran. And get the Owls back on track after the tough start from Newland. And unfortunately, a fall over on the bars as Chouette has to come off. Over on vault, we had a 9.625 from Koopman. And did not yet have a score for Street, but up third will be Maya Reimers, the senior, to finish off her night for the Knights. Yurchenko layout, full, nicely done. Great height off the table. Just a little shuffle off to the side. She was a bit off center on that vault. But great height, great distance. What you would expect from the senior. And excuse my earlier error, that is Delorme on the bars for Ursinus, not Chouette, who had a 9.625 earlier. So this will be the number that Ursinus would hope to drop if they can hit their next three. But we'll turn our eyes back to floor exercise now. Up third for Temple, junior Jordan Oster. Front through to a double tuck and takes that controlled lunge back, but does step out. So 1/10 neutral deduction coming here for Oster. Oster sets up. Big double pike. Two-pass routine from Oster. Does a good job. Just took that step out that'll hurt her on that first pass. A good one overall as Temple tries to follow that opening fall. Score for Tori Edwards was a 9.8. That's a season-high number for Edwards. Bridgeport, after that 9.625 from Koopman, 9.7 from Street, 9.75 from Reimers, 9.725 from Caitlin Gray. So building their scores nicely. Two left, Gabrielle Kistner and Juliana Rowland, the two all-arounders, close out the night for Bridgeport. Here is Kistner. Yurchenko 1.5. And the judges over on floor are going to get together to talk over Oster's routine. And now the final competition routine of the night for Bridgeport. This will be Juliana Rowland, the sophomore. Score was a 9.75 from Gabrielle Kistner. Here is Rowland. Yurchenko layout full, beautifully done. And a good finish to the night for the Purple Knights. Some things here and there, but ultimately, you know that Bridgeport's going to be in the mix in the USAG National Championships. This is a Division II team that comes in ranked ahead of a number of Division I teams. Temple is one of them. Bridgeport one spot ahead of Temple in this week's national rankings. 51st for Bridgeport, 52nd for Temple. This score, if Temple can finish strong on floor, figures to help the Owls mightily. And we'll have one bars routine left for Ursinus. That will be freshman Alex Panetta, as we just saw the dismount from Haley DeChico. This has been a long delay on floor to talk this one over. Believe it is a 9.775, which means it was a 9.875 before the 1/10 deduction for stepping out. One judge gave it a 9.95, so tells you that a lot was going right for Oster in that routine. Well, if she could have kept that first pass in, that would have been something for the Owls. We'll confirm that score as soon as we're able. Up next for Temple, fourth in the floor lineup is junior Faith Leary. Leary front layout 1.5 and kept her foot on the line. I think she picked that front foot up, so there'd be a deduction on the lunge, but she avoids the 1/10 for stepping out, barely. Big double tuck. A good job there by Leary. While we were in that routine, Alex Panetta finished up for Ursinus. So the Bears are done, and I believe we just got the second of the two exhibition vaults from Bridgeport's Grace Hunter. So we'll get to spend the rest of our evening checking in on Temple. Can indeed confirm the 9.775 from Oster. That's really remarkable. 9.95 when you step out on a pass. You really don't often see it. Again, she took a controlled lunge on the pass, which you're allowed. It just happened that that lunge took her out of bounds, and one judge did not see much else in that routine. We are awaiting the scores. And it's going to be another high one, 9.875 for Faith Leary, a new season high. And this time, interestingly, it was the other judge that gave it a 9.95. The judge on our near side gave it a 9.8. Judge on the far side gave it a 9.95. But the scores are starting to pick up here late for the Owls. Still have that 8-8 sitting out there. You need 2-hit routines. They've got Ariana Castrense and she's another one that packs all that difficulty into the two passes. But unfortunately for Temple, they'll have to count that score. It'll be higher than an 8-8, but it will not be what she wanted or what the Owls wanted from her. And now, again, the Owls did not do their part for Delaney Guerin, who was a late add into this floor lineup after Jaylene Everett had to scratch. And there will be some pressure on her. Bridgeport, by the way, finished up with a 48.775 on the vault, and a new season best score for Bridgeport. First time that they've cracked 194 this year, 194.175. And speaking of season highs, how about this for Ursinus? 187.250. That is more than 2 full points, almost 2.5 points better than their previous season high. So might hit 3 for 3 on season high scores tonight. You know, every team can take something away from that. There was a big cheer over from the Ursinus huddle after they finished bars, and as we get the final scores come in, we see why. That is a huge improvement. This team began their season less than a month ago with a 181. So to have picked that up already to a 187.250, that's a great thing for Ursinus. Great work from Kim Parsons-Valenti at the helm there, just down the road or up the road in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. So we wait on the scores for Castrense. We've got one routine left before we sign off tonight. A reminder that following the conclusion of our proper broadcast, you can stick around and we'll have the entirety of the awards ceremony for you right here on Owls TV. And we're going to have another discussion between the judges here. So while we have this delay, we can remind you that we are back with you on the air March 6th. Set your calendar, set a reminder in your phone. It's a while away. We're back here March 6th. It's a Friday night at 7 p.m. Tri-meet against local rival, ECAC rival Penn, and we'll also be joined by Bowling Green for that tri-meet. And then Senior Day is Sunday at 4 o'clock that same weekend. That is Sunday, March 8th. At 4 o'clock p.m., it'll be a dual meet between Temple and Ursinus. So we will welcome the Bears back to McGonigal Hall. So the one judge on the far side gave it a 9-6, which I think is going to be a matter of some dispute, as it looked as if, now he's got a better angle than we do, but it looked pretty clear that Castrense put her hands down on that first pass. The judge over on the near side, nearest our position, gave the routine an 8-9 with a 9-8 start value. So I think there's a lot to parse. Both perhaps start value and a matter of whether or not that was indeed a fall from Castrense, which would carry with it a 5/10 deduction. So where this one ends up is anyone's guess. The judges have finished their conference. The start value issue has been solved. It's a 10-0. Now, what does that mean for the deductions? It's going to end up being a 9-5 for Castrense. One judge will come up to a 9-4. The other stays at 9-6. And here we go. The final routine of the night for Delaney Guerin. Whip half, 1.5, and Guerin comes in a little low. May have come out of bounds. It's hard to tell. Front handspring into a Rudy. One and a half front full to finish, and that will end what has been a very good night for Temple. Not far off, one or two routines off from a truly great night. But the Owls will come out of this with a season-high score. And it looks as if we might have a floor exhibition, so we'll hang tight for a sec. And it is going to be Grace Bush, the freshman, who will have an exhibition routine before we say our farewell to you tonight. This will also give us time to get the final team scores for you. 3 teams leaving with season highs. Everyone goes into February feeling good. 9-6-7-5 for Delaney Guerin. Team scores coming momentarily, but here is an exhibition routine from Grace Bush. Front through to a double tuck. Looked like she had it, then just took an extra stumble back out of bounds. Good, Rudy. One and a half front layout to finish. And Temple's whole team rooting on the freshman there through that floor routine. Nice note to finish on. So we'll leave you with some good news here for the Temple Owls. For just the 6th time in program history, Temple scores a 195 or better. They finished tonight with a 195 on the nose, the 6th highest score in program history for Temple. As we said, all 3 teams finish with season highs tonight. Bridgeport cracks 194 for the first time this season, 194-175, and Ursinus shatters their previous season best with a 187-2. So something for each of these teams to feel good about as we head into the second month of the gymnastics regular season. Temple has some stumbles, but they have some program high scores, and they leave tonight with a 195 for just the 6th time ever. That will do it for our coverage. We remind you that you can stick around. In a few moments, we will have the presentation of the final scores and the award ceremony from tonight. We invite you to stick around, but we'll say goodnight. Thanks so much on behalf of our entire Owls TV crew. This is Kevin Kopp saying goodnight from McGonigal Hall.
That's A3001015. Please visit the marketing table to claim your prize.
zone, yeah. I got the crown, yeah. Can't take me down, yeah. I'm on my own, yeah. I'm in the zone, yeah. I got the crown, yeah. Can't take me down, yeah. I'm on my own, yeah. I'm in the zone, yeah. I got the crown.
First up is vault. We had a three-way tie for first place. From Bridgeport with a 9.85, Juliana Rowland. From Temple with a 9.85, Ariana Castrense. And from Temple with a 9.85, Faith Leary. Now for bars. In third place from Bridgeport with a 9.725, Catherine Doran. In second from Temple University with a 9.775, Delaney Guerin. And in first from Temple University with a 9.825, Ariana Castrense. Now for beam. In third place from Ursinus College with a 9.85, Skylar Haas. In second from Temple University with a 9.875, Ariana Castrense. And in first from Temple University with a 9.9, Delaney Guerin. Now for floor. In third place from Bridgeport with a 9.85, Gabrielle Kistner. In second from Temple University with a 9.875, Faith Leary. And in first from Bridgeport with a 9.9, Maya Reimers. In the all-around, in second place from Bridgeport with a 38.85, Juliana Rowland. And your all-around winner from Temple University with a 39.05, Ariana Castrense. And for your overall team results, in third place with a 187.2, Ursinus College. In second with a 194.175, Bridgeport. And in first place with a 195, Temple University. Thank you for attending tonight's meet. Join us next time when Temple Women's Gymnastic returns home on Friday, March 6th at 7 p.m. for Alumni Night. The Owls will be hosting Bowling Green and UPenn. The meet takes place right here in McGonigal Hall and admission is free. Please get home safely.